So, hello. I hope everyone's having a great evening so far. I just want to thank you for joining us this evening. Our session is about our community service programs at Northern College. We host weekly webinars twice a week, every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our webinars are basically designed to provide you with answers to questions about topics you need to know. Yeah, so before we start, I do want to add on that this session will be recorded. To those that are unable to attend this evening, you'll be able to check out this webinar on our website. My name is Hope Kuzis. I am the Indigenous Recruiter and Pathways Navigator. I'm also the host for this evening. It's my first time hosting, so please forgive me. I have my amazing co-host who will guide me into the right direction. So we are going to start off by introducing you to our amazing panelists for this evening's session. So I'm going to start off with Erin. So this question goes out to all of our panelists. Basically, I would like you to introduce yourself, what programs that you represent, what credentials, and at what campus these programs are offered at.
Hi, everybody. My name's Erin Holmes, and I'm the coordinator for the Early Childhood Education program here at Northern College. It's a 2-year diploma program, currently offered at 3 of our campuses, the Timmins campus, Kirkland Lake, and Moosonee. I'll go into a little bit more about that delivery format later on as we talk. I have many years in the field. About 15 years working directly with the children, as well as owning my own childcare center for a number of years. I come sort of with a wealth of knowledge as a registered early childhood educator, my degree in psychology, as well as my master's in education. And I look forward to talking to you all this evening and sharing a little bit more about our programs.
Hi there, and I'm Kathy Smith. I'm in the School of Community Services, primarily out of the Haileybury campus, but I teach to the Kirkland Lake campus and to the distance program, our ContactNorth program. This is my 28th year at Northern College, so I certainly bring to the table a lot of experience from the college perspective and from working in community-based agencies. So again, I will share more about the program as we go. Thanks.
And I'm Lori Vachon. I teach at the Timmins campus in the social service worker program, and I have a master's in social work and about 13 years of working in the field in various agencies. And I look forward to kind of talking a little bit more about how we run the program in Timmins.
Hi everyone, my name is Tara Duclos. I am the coordinator for the social service worker program, ContactNorth, and we'll talk to you a little bit about our online delivery as we get a little bit more into the evening. I have my master's in social work as well, and I've been with the college for, this will be my 5th year, my 5th full-time year. And I come from my background primarily mental health in a hospital setting for about 10 years. So I look forward to getting to know everyone throughout the evening.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dean Lassard, and I'm the Dean for the School of Community Services. I'm completing my 7th year at the college. I started in public education before coming over to the post-secondary education sector. I have a master's degree in business administration and a master of education degree before coming to the college. I did put up my email addresses on this screen. So if you're unable to join us in person today, but you do have any questions about our program areas, please feel free to email me at that address. So thank you.
Awesome. Did you want to introduce yourself, Kara, or are you good?
Sure, I'll take a share. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kara. I am one of the recruiters as well. I focus on Southern Ontario. So maybe, we do have people here from Southern Ontario. Maybe you've seen me in your school or maybe in the community, whatever. I'm driving around the bright orange vehicle. So you've probably seen me somewhere. But thank you so much for joining us.
Let's move into, if you can talk more about the campus locations and the local communities, where are these programs offered at Northern College? So we can start off with Lori.
So the Timmins campus is actually located in South Porcupine, which is just outside of Timmins, if you're not familiar with the area. So it's our little suburb of our big city of Timmins. And it's really a beautiful location. The school is located right on a lake, and there's lots of nature trails all around. It's a smaller community, so you get a lot of support from the community, who's always excited to see who the students are and welcome them into the community every year.
Okay, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Contact North program. I introduced myself and let everyone know that I am the coordinator for that piece of our program. So under that hat falls the Kirkland Lake campus, the Haileybury campus, the Moosonee campus, and then Contact North Kirkland Lake campus as well. So doing the online portion, we realized that there's people from all over the place. And so what we like to do is we like to make sure that we're still giving it that personalized touch and that everyone is still getting the same quality and the same experience or a similar experience as our Timmins campus students. So specifically, labs are our opportunity for us to really do this. So in your second semester of your first year, there will be your lab course. So this lab is where you get to put your practice into theory, and it's really just a hands-on experience to practice frontline skills. So it typically takes place over 2 weekends. And we usually try to ensure that they happen one weekend in March and one weekend in April. So we realize that there may be some travel involved, but we really do, once we know our cohort and where everyone's from, we pull everyone together and we select locations, trying to make sure that nobody is having to travel too far of a distance to be able to attend lab. And again, you have advanced warnings on these weekends, so you're able to plan for your travel and potential accommodations. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about lab, and Kathy, I think we'll talk to you next about what the placement experience is like for our online learners.
Thank you. And as I said, I am from the Haileybury campus. And for those of you who don't know, Haileybury is about 6 hours north of Toronto, or an hour and a half north of North Bay. It seems like a long way, but it's an incredibly beautiful drive up, and Haileybury is very small on the edge. The campus overlooks a huge lake, very, very pretty. I do a lot of the field placements, and that encompasses from, students up the coast to students all the way to Windsor and every point in between. So as Tara said, for labs, we try to accommodate as close as we can, but for placement, you get that opportunity to immerse yourself back into your own community, and the skills that we've given you over the 3 semesters, you get to utilize them in an agency in your community. So it's really a really rich experience that you get to gather the skills and then work with a community agency in your own hometown. So it's a really nice relationship. Thanks.
Thank you, Lori, Tara, and Kathy. I meant to say that earlier. So moving on to Erin. If you want to elaborate about the local communities and what programs are offered.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to share a little bit about the early childhood education program. As I had mentioned, it is offered at 3 of our campuses. So we do have both in-class portions where students attend on campus, but we also have the students joining us through a virtual format, which we call Blackboard Collaborate, in which all students join together with our Timmins campus, with the faculty in Timmins, in order to get that same classroom experience, those same opportunities. We've even used virtual learning, for example, our outdoor courses, in which the students are able to see live the experiences as the students are going through those opportunities. And we're hoping to bring that into our Play Lab, which I'll talk about a little bit more later on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Erin. So we're going to move on to the next question. This mainly focuses on what are the benefits of taking community service programs, and we're going to start off with Erin.
So by taking these programs, for example, ECE, SSW, at a local campus, you really get to know your community. You really get to become involved in getting to know your clients, getting to know the agencies. Having those opportunities for local engagement is really important. Of course, it helps students so that they're not having to travel as far. They have the comforts of home right there with them. And we're also a relatively small college, and so then our classroom sizes are quite small. And we get to know our other classmates, our peers, and our faculty on a very close and personal level.
Thank you very much, Erin. Before we move on, I do want to say if there's any questions from our participants, we'll make sure that they'll be answered at the end. So the next person would be Kathy. Tell me about the benefits of your program.
Well, again, as I said, the 3 semesters of intensive theoretical learning, then we get the opportunity to use it actually in the field. So the field portion is 15 weeks, 500 hours in a community agency of your choice. And as I said, we're, you know, from all points of Ontario and beyond. I did have a student 2 years ago in Kuwait. So that was a wonderful experience for myself and helpful for her. But we have agencies anywhere from addictions, children's, family services. Many students choose to do placements in seniors' homes, Veterans Affairs, Salvation Army, literacy programs. Both public and separate school boards are very willing to take our students. Again, the addictions piece, manners, so not necessarily long-term care home, but more of an activity based in seniors' residences. So it's so diverse, and it's kind of interesting because students approach the program thinking that they want Canadian mental health or working with children, but there is so much out there, and I encourage students from the minute they start in the program to really start thinking and getting to know your own community so you can have the best experience when it comes to the 4th semester and you're in your placement. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kathy. That was some really good advice. So Lori, did you want to add on to anything in regards of the question?
I'll just add on just a little bit. There's just a little bit of difference between the way that the placements run for the Contact North program and the Timmins campus program. So for Timmins campus, because we are all on the same or in the same community, our students are really starting to learn about the services that are available in our community right from first year. And what we do in their 3rd semester is we set up a placement fair. So we bring various community agencies together and allow students to go and start talking to the different agencies where they may have a placement available to them. And they get that opportunity to really familiarize themselves with what the agencies can offer in terms of a placement, and then they can apply right there and put their name in to do their placement at that agency. So that's just a little bit something different than what they're doing in the Contact North program, because the Contact North program covers such a wide area, but our Timmins campus program is just located specifically in Timmins, and sometimes in those small little communities outside of Timmins like York Falls and Matheson as well.
Thank you so much, Lori. As you guys listen, you've noticed that community is very important to us at Northern College. So moving on to the next question, this is more geared to about in regards of requirements. So I guess this question is more tailored for Erin. The question is, what are the general admission requirements for students who have not applied yet?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to be speaking for both early childhood education as well as the social service worker programs because we do have similar general admission requirements. So a lot of our students come directly out of high school and they would be expected to have the Ontario Secondary School Diploma. The main requirement out of that they need to have is a minimum of a 60% in their grade 12 English credit. That's the one main component. It's also recommended that they do have computer proficiency. For example, Microsoft Office products like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Publisher are really important. They should also be aware of web search engines, email platforms, and those types of abilities are really important in our programs because you'll be using all of those on a regular basis. We also, of course, do have some students who come to us not directly right out of high school. You know, they may have had a career in the past, or they may have stopped and had children, or they may have just taken a few years off and decided to come back to school. So they would be considered the mature and looked at the mature student status. They need to be at least 19 years of age in order to fall into that category. And those students would need to undergo academic testing. And in order to go through that process, they would contact the admissions office at Northern College in order to follow through with that process.
Awesome. So now that everyone has the information they need, so I'm going to start off with Tara. So this question, it's more about like, can you paint a picture for our viewers what a typical day in class looks like in our community service programs?
Absolutely, thanks. Okay, so the full-time social service worker program, we like to akin it to like having a full-time job. There's work involved for sure. Each semester has about 7 courses a semester, and I'm actually going to post a link when I'm done chatting for you in the chat box, and it's going to bring you right to the courses so you can have a look for yourself to start to get a snapshot idea of what that would be like. So although there is the ContactNorth program where you can primarily be online to do it, there's still, you know, being able to listen to the recordings from the classes at your own time and speed. But those are about 3 hours typically in length for our theory courses. Class sizes, we really pride ourselves on our class sizes because we make it a point to keep our class sizes smaller so that we can have that interaction with each and every one of our students. During class, out of class, we really pride ourselves on that, and we think it really sets us apart from other colleges out there. The other thing that I think it's really important to mention is that we are able to bring in a number of professionals in our field to come and present to students on specialized topics as we teach throughout the semester. So students are able to really get a full picture of what's going on and happening in the field today. The other thing I really wanted to talk about was we're really excited about our new program. It's going to be offered in the fall of 2021. And the link I sent you, it takes you right to the courses, but you'll be able to see right on the website's laid out really user-friendly. You'll be able to see the course list as well. So all of the courses being offered, so you can have a look at what some of the courses might be like. So our new program, we're very proud of it. All the faculty's worked really hard, and it's really focused on an anti-oppressive framework and structural social work. So we kind of use that as the lens and the foundation to form our classes that are being offered. Some more exciting things, we've worked very hard to make our program really interactive and to give our students and our grads going out there a really good feel for practicing their skills and feeling comfortable with using their skills. So we purchased a program from McMaster University called Standardized Patient Programming, otherwise known as SPP. And this gives you that opportunity to practice your skills that you're learning in your social work practice courses with an actual live actor. And then, you know, do the lab components of your social work practice courses that way. So our faculty are just really invested in making sure that as our field is changing, that we're changing with our field and that our programming reflects these changes, so that when you're ready to go into the field, you feel really prepared for the jobs that will follow. And I'm going to post that link for you right now as well. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Tara. Did Lori or Kathy want to add on to anything in regards of paint a picture of what class is like?
Absolutely. So from the Haileybury campus, because some of the classes are actually live, not necessarily the distance, but the students that choose to be in the Haileybury catchment, those classes are live. So it's very much like a normal traditional classroom. But what I was going to add to what Tara said is the lab component, because students travel, they really bond. You know, you get to practice your skills with each other and you become your own community. We are a very small college. We know all of our students. We know the struggles our students are facing. You know, we know if you have a job, if you have children, if you have aging parents. So that community within itself is really helpful for students to feel safe and secure and respected as individuals. You know, our students are not numbers, they are people, and we get very close to them. So it's really a cool experience for us to see them from first semester right through till they, hopefully, we ever get to walk a stage again. So yeah, thank you.
Kathy, I would build on that as well. For the Timmins campus, we really see that sense of community amongst our students as well. So they really get that chance to get to know each other and to get to know us. And they love just popping in and chit-chatting with us in between classes. And so again, once we get back to our regular campus life, I look forward to those opportunities to have students kind of pop in and just double check stuff, and they feel comfortable doing that, and our doors are open and we're accessible to our students as well. I also just wanted to touch base. Tara briefly talked about how we're really working on pulling in an anti-oppressive lens into our courses that we're going to be launching in September. So just a little touch on what that means, because if you are just looking into this field, that may be something that is something you haven't heard about just yet. So really what anti-oppressive practice is all about is looking for areas where there may be maybe inequalities, and we're really looking at identifying inequalities and really promoting equity and justice. So really breaking down barriers that our clients are facing and helping them get what they need, because they may have been struggling with some other issues and barriers that they're facing in society. So that's really what we're focusing on in our classes this year.
Awesome. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Lori. Is there anything that you want to add on, Erin, in regards of the question? I'm willing to repeat it if you forgot it. Yeah.
No, sorry. I'm always one of those ones that forget to turn my mic on. So I just wanted to add a little bit from the ECE perspective. We have sort of, again, just redone our entire program, and this was one of our first years of rolling out our new program with all of our new courses. We have a couple of components that we're really proud of. One is and this is why my picture's in the background right now, our outdoor and nature play course. A few years ago, I was lucky enough to take a trip with a group of early childhood educators from across Canada to Scotland. And so we've really learned from the experience around the world and how important the outdoor environment is to young children. And so we have brought that perspective into our program at Northern College, in which one of our faculty has really taken taking this course in all new directions to get us outside, get us involved, get us engaged. So yeah, it's cold up here sometimes in the winter, but out you go. It's really part of the experience that comes with being at Northern College. And the other part is we have recently developed an ECE Play Lab. We are working on our partnerships with a lot of our local childcare centers, school boards, as well as our DSAB here in Timmins in order to be able to offer the programs for early childhood educators as well as young children who come in so that our students will be able to get that hands-on learning opportunity. It's right beside our classroom, so we have a blended format where sometimes you're in class and sometimes you're in the lab. It's all set up for video so that you can actually view into the Play Lab and see what everyone is doing and how they interact. So we're really proud of that and really looking forward to putting that into place as we get back into the college.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin. That was actually really some useful information. I think you convinced me to take ECE now. So moving on to the next question. So this is almost like a, what does that say? You're hitting 3 birds with 1 stone. Anyways, so the next question is, what are the non-paid placement / pathway opportunities? What kind of networking and job prospects are there? And why would someone want to pursue this line of work? We can start off with Erin.
So in regards to placement, the ECE program is very similar to the SSW, in which the entire final semester is unpaid placement opportunities. They complete 600 hours out in various agencies. We break that down into 3 segments so that they have the opportunity to get into different agencies and into different age groups with the children within those agencies. And then we take that, of course, when we're looking at career paths, our placement opportunities are very similar to any opportunities that you would be looking to take your career. So early childhood educators are qualified to work with any children from ages technically newborn, though there's very few childcare centers that have newborn. It might be, 3, 4, 5, 6 months old, up to 12 years of age. Also working with children with special needs is a very important component that we do see on placement as well as out in the career. Anywhere from private childcare centers to public, to the Ministry of Education, in which you can be working in the kindergarten classrooms in the schools, for DSAB office, children's hospitals, as well as, this was a number of years ago, but there was a graduate who ended up working at Walt Disney World, and there was another ECE who ended up going to Florida on the Disney Cruise Line, actually. So the opportunities are there if you look far enough and broad enough, the opportunities are there. Early on-sites, home childcare, if that's the avenue that you'd like to go, if you have young children of your own. And of course, administrative roles such as supervisor, finance, manager, owner, operator. I can attest to that's kind of where my career took me, down a road that I wasn't expecting after I had young children. So the doors are always open, the opportunities are always there. There's also a lot of pathways when we talk about education perspective from the ECE. We can take it into the administrative roles. We can also look at resource teacher, working with children with special needs. We also have the autism and behavioral sciences pathway, in which students can then take their career in working with children with an autistic background. Also, we could take it into university, that we have a lot of transfer credit agreements in which it's a 2-for-2. So you would have your 2-year diploma go into a 4-year degree, but you'd enter directly into 3rd year. We have that both with Nipissing University in Ryerson. And if you wanted to become a teacher, then you would have another 2 years after that. So lots of opportunities out there. And I always say to my students, dream big, look to the future, and the opportunities are there.
Thank you so much, Erin. Kathy, did you want to add on in regards of the social service worker program?
Absolutely, thank you. So similar to Erin, our last semester is all in the field and it is an unpaid position. This year, and I'm not sure if it's COVID related, but this year we've had many students who have been offered positions for after graduation or part-time positions while they're doing their placement. You can't be paid for placement, so there's some differences between a part-time job and your placement work. It's really, I get very attached to the students, so it's really cool for me when I reach out to agencies and I find that one of the supervisors is a graduate of ours, and that can be across the province. So they've, worked frontline and now they're into a supervisory position. So it's really nice. And I use them frequently to be guest speakers to try to encourage and motivate the students. So as Erin said, the pathways are very, very diverse, and it really is dependent, which is a good thing, on your lifestyle, where you are in your life. Do you want different roles? Our students will be looking now to either register with the Ontario College of Social Service Workers, social workers. You don't have to, but if you are going to work in the field and use the title social worker, you must be you must register with the Ontario College. So there's some benefits, financial benefits to registering as a student. You get a little bit of a discount for doing that. We also have articulation agreements specifically with Algoma University. And again, as Erin said, it's a 2-for-2. So 2 years of community college and then transition into the university program, which at this point is either in Sault Ste. Marie or it's offered out of the Timmins campus. So that's really wonderful for students that are in the north. So there are many, many possibilities. And I think as students progress through their 2 years, doors start opening up because they're far more aware of the different possible positions, and the course is so diverse that there's just pockets of interest that they can move through. So it's open. It's up to what the student wants to do, and they have an amazing team to help support and guide, because we all have our own expertise and our own area of community work that we've come to and our own passion. So there's a lot of opportunities. Thank you.
No, thank you, Kathy. At a small college, there's many opportunities. So the last question, I'm sure a lot of viewers or anyone that will be watching this have this thought. So Dean, so this question is mainly for you. What will this fall look like for learning because of COVID-19?
Well, obviously it's a concern for any student and faculty and staff that are coming back for the fall. Right now, being optimistic, and I think most of the sector, and I'm frozen there, being optimistic is that we are planning for a return to face-to-face. Now, Heather, in your situation, it'd still be distance delivery, even though you noted that you will be transitioning to Timiskaming Shores. But we are planning for face-to-face, but I will hedge that by saying plans are also in place so that if we had to, in the most unfortunate situations, pivot back to a distance delivery, there wouldn't be a loss of a semester or a year, that we would be able to do this seamlessly. We're well practiced with this, even prior to COVID. I would hazard to say that Northern College was one of the leading online deliverers of education and post-secondary education in the province. So this is not an area that we feel uncomfortable with, but optimistically, we're hoping to be back. Regardless, what I would say is, and I hope that what's coming across well on this platform is that this department, whether we're talking about ECE or SSW, is comprised of highly professional, strongly educated, and very passionate faculty. And they're here and they're committed for you. Like, they're committed to help you succeed and reach your goals. And I can't say enough of how proud I am to work with this group. I don't have to say a lot because they can say way more than I can about the programs. We're proud about the curriculum. That goes without saying. I think across Ontario, the Ontario education system is extremely strong. I think what we provide at Northern College is personalized attention, personalized understanding of each person's unique situation. And I think we really do try to help you as long as you're helping yourself and try to achieve your educational goals. So while we are planning for face-to-face, like I said, the most exciting part is you're going to have a chance to kind of interact with these exceptional people that I get to work with every day. Finally, I'm going to just finish by saying that Northern College is working very closely with our public health unit. So when we return face-to-face, and I'm hoping that we do so, that all of the proper standards, whether we're talking about personal protective equipment, social distancing, and whatnot, will be in play. Like I said, we take our guidance from our public health unit, and we'll be putting measures into place that will ensure the health and safety of our students, our staff, our faculty, and administration at the college too. So I don't want people to be concerned about that. Those measures have already been written down. They're already in place. It's just be a matter of them being implemented when we move forward. So like I said, if you're looking for an experience with people and professionals that really care about you and your success, and you're definitely making the right choice in coming here. Speak to Heather directly, because Heather happens to be the only one right now attending, but Heather, I mean, from a distance learning platform, you have the opportunity to get to know Kathy, Tracy, Tara as the coordinator for the distance program, and I'm going to tell you, you're not going to regret your decision. These are exceptional programs run by exceptional people, and I'm very proud to be a part of the team that delivers these programs to our students.
Thank you so much, Dean. Kara, so that's the end of the interview portion. However, are there any questions from our attendees, the viewers, or participants?
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we have 2 questions. Let me just scroll back up here. I think it was a little bit answered, but maybe if people want to expand on it a little bit more, we can kind of go into that. So Heather is a mature student, which was, and she was accepted into the social work program at Haileybury and Kirkland Lake. She wants to relocate, and she's wondering what the placement possibilities are in those areas.
Well, right now in this area, we have students in long-term care. We have students in child and family services. We have a student in the Literacy Council. We have students with Salvation Army. And our numbers are always lower in tend to be lower in the Haileybury campus than our ContactNorth cohort. But in our specific community, we have what I just mentioned, plus we have a social worker in the hospital. We've had placements in the hospital at Canadian Mental Health, both in, it's called Northern Star. So that's actually a location where our students are in a separate building from Canadian Mental Health, and it's all community consumers. So you're working with people that are struggling with their own mental health as a sort of a peer mentor role. So that really can build a lot of openings. We also have women, or students, women obviously, placed in the women's shelter. We don't have men placed in the women's shelter because they don't accept that, but and school boards, definitely in our school boards in our local area. So those are some of the opportunities. But again, we have Cochrane-Temiskaming Resource Center. We have community living that is very supportive of our students. So there's many in our small community, there's many, many possibilities. And I'm happy to share them when I get to meet you.
Thank you, Kathy. I hope that helped a little bit there, Heather. So she also wants to know, I'm not sure who this question would be for, but I'm going to just read it out. So aside from the obvious benefits of community at school, which is awesome, how competitive are your graduates against that of a program at a larger community?
That's a really great question, Heather. So thanks for asking that. We're just as competitive, and I would say if not more, because I value so much the experience that you have when you're at Northern College. So at the end of the day, you're going to have the same diploma as your peers who did the SSW at a Southern Ontario college that was much larger. However, you may find that you have had a lot more experience and opportunities being a part of a smaller college because what we can bring to the table that way. And that's sort of what I was talking about at the beginning when I say that's kind of how we set ourselves aside from larger colleges. And oftentimes that's what attracts people to our ContactNorth program. And even we've had students come from Southern Ontario to be part of our Timmins campus. So I think we're just as competitive. I might be biased, but I'm even going to say maybe even a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, your experience is going to weigh in a lot more than your diploma that you end up with. And Kathy, I think you wanted to weigh in as well.
I tell students that because this program is regulated by the ministry, the vocational learning outcomes, the standards are exactly the same for every student taking a 2-year social service worker program. So yes, we have a small campus and we have I can't say far more. We have huge opportunity to do more intensive work. So you graduate and your diploma is no more or less than anyone from Southern Ontario. So the competition, we've got it, but you're graduating with the same level of education.
And lastly, I just wanted to add that when you're part of a smaller college, oftentimes the roles that we fill and the experience that you get as an SSW would be unattainable in a larger city because of the competition and the number of different credentials and people kind of vying for those positions. So in smaller communities, we need to be able to have workers who fill these positions. So we have to change credentials sometimes of who's able to access those placements and that kind of programming.
So I'll just conclude, and my statement will fit with both the ECE and SSW program. And I start with smaller, and smaller isn't less effective. Smaller just means it's more personalized. And we talked about the classroom experience and through the first 3 semesters and whatnot. But smaller also means that we have, I believe, stronger relationships with a lot of the community agencies that we work with as part of offering the program. So both Tara, Kathy, and I'm sure Aaron would say the same, that these relationships then allow us to fit students in where they want to be. So the thing I would throw back at you, Heather, is that you have a real opportunity being in the North to figure out what part of social work, in this specific example, that you want to pursue. And then Kathy's well-equipped, well-connected in order to help you realize what agency best fits where it is that you want to be. And I think that's the other piece that's small. And Tara then alluded on the other piece with regards to ECE and SSW is that, and I can attest from all of our jobs, because we're smaller, our roles are often broader. So that when you finish your placement, instead of in a larger center where they may tell you, Heather, you need to go here, you need to complete your placement here because this is what we've got for you and that's it, you get a stronger voice in where you want to be. The second piece is that when you walk into that agency, again, because we're not as large, roles may not be as minutely focused. It means that you get a more richer and robust experience within the workforce that helps you add to your resume. So when you start applying for jobs, when you've completed. And again, that is a true statement, whether we're looking at the SSW program or the ECE program. So it's about leveraging that experience to getting employment. And like I said, so smaller, we're more in tune with our agencies within our community. And the experience is something I think that you're going to get a more robust one in, because like I said, you'll be looked at to do a variety of roles, which then supplement your resume, which makes you more attractive to organizations that are going to look to hire you upon completion.
Thanks, Dean. I just wanted to say as well, as someone that lives in Southern Ontario, it is very competitive. The job market is quite competitive down here. And another thing to keep in mind as well is Northern College is a smaller college, but the catchment area which we service is quite large. So there are a lot of communities and a lot of opportunities within that region. So that's another thing to pay a close attention to. We do not have any other questions, Hope, unless Heather wants to just pop some last minute ones in there. If not, we are good to go.
Thank you for doing this webinar with us. There was a lot of important questions and information given today. To our viewers, I hope that you found this very helpful. And if you have any further questions, feel free to email us.
I just wanted to mention as well, just about the entrance award bursary, because the deadline is coming up for that $1,000 bursary, which quite a few of the programs that we talked about today qualify for. So there is $1,000 available automatically towards those that register by, I believe it's April 5th, and that will go towards your second semester tuition automatically. So that's another big bonus that Northern College has available as well.
Thank you so much, Kara, because I honestly didn't think of that. But anyways, you're welcome to book a one-on-one appointment with either myself, Kara, or Sumit to learn more about the programs we offer at Northern College. Before we all leave, we do have an upcoming open house, which I believe is on April 8th. Other than that, make sure to attend our next session, this coming up on March 18th. Learn more about our technology and trade program. Other than that, that is everything.
Thank you, everyone.